Okay, just it's record, and we're starting.
Previously on Selenitic's Disney Plus Pals,
We mentioned
Beetle-
BeetleJuice 3 times.
Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice!
It's showtime. Bom, 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 bom. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. In this episode, we continue that. So, yeah.
Oh no!
I got a
What did we
question.
just do?
Are you
Yes,
sure this
Cal.
is? Are you sure this is Disney Plus Pals? The audience is going to get really, really confused if either A, this is a Disney Plus Pals episode, or B, this is an entirely new show, and you keep introducing new shows to the channel.
Don't worry, we got a backup plan right here. Shut up!
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Neil's reaction to his own fans. Everybody.
I can't put my other hand up, or I would.
Again,
But no, we're doing
plan.
Beetlejuice. We're doing a review, and there's a whole nother movie show coming too. So everybody's allowed to get pissed off if they want, but enjoy the extra content if you want to. It is our channel, and we're gonna do what we want.
This is the backup plan right here.
Yeah, look, I am just impressed by that. Where did you get it? Comic-Con?
No, I think I got it like at a Walmart or something.
Really? I've never seen anything like that at a Walmart. It looks cool. Good
Maybe it
vibe.
was Party City. I think it was probably one of the other Halloween stores. Maybe it was Party City or Savers.
But yeah, today for the first time, last episode we kind of flirted with it.
There'll be music, there'll be light for the first time.
I'm in forever.
Sorry, wrong thing. Sorry.
There'll be murder, there'll be happiness, and everything in between. Before the first time in forever. We're not reviewing Disney shit. It didn't rhyme.
And you're all another scream.
Hey, Disney isn't on our screen. That's a good one. That's a better one.
Right. Which version of Beetlejuice are we looking at today?
We
The
are looking at
musical, of
Beetlejuice
course.
the musical, Cal.
Yes,
Are
the
we still
same-
wearing shades? Can we take the shades off? Are we still? Is this still a gimmick or anything, or do we have to keep them off for the entire episode?
I just took mine off.
I have no idea what to do with mine. I mean, maybe just to confuse people, maybe we'll keep them on or maybe turn them off. I don't know.
I mean, I think it's funnier that like I flipped everybody off while wearing sunglasses.
That's gonna be a meme or something like that.
But yeah, so today we're not reviewing Disney stuff. We are moving past that and reviewing another Broadway musical. Maybe right now talks are to review something non-Disney once a month.
Oh,
But depending how everybody reacts to this one, that could be more frequent.
I guess
Again,
they don't know unless
backup
it's-
plan. Backup plan.
Yes. Therese has a backup plan, and we shall initiate said backup plan. You're going to love it. Believe us, you're going to love it.
But it'll
I mean,
be later on in
we're
this.
uploading it anyways, you know? We shot something exclusive with Charisse, a video where she was in charge. And that's probably going to be uploaded before this one.
That was supposed to be part of my plan. You spoiled it. God damn it. Why do you have to
didn't
do it?
mention it.
uploaded
You did it
before
again.
this.
We didn't mention it.
It's spoiling everything.
We didn't mention it. We didn't mention precisely what it was. Just the fact that you did something with us.
Yes, you did something with viewers, but
Now
Okay.
everybody's going to know that we did a video with Charisse where she essentially turned us all into toys and then threw us in a trash can.
And then a purple
Who wants
teddy
to
bear.
start?
But moving forward, we are definitely, this is not Disney. It's not Disney related at all. There are little connections. I guess if you wanted to make one, Tim Burton created this, and Tim Burton has made a handful of Disney movies.
Oh yeah.
Alice in Wonderland, Nightmare Before Christmas,
He didn't. Well,
was a new
he
Franken
didn't
movie?
direct it. Remember, that's Henry Selick. Everyone makes that mistake. I make that mistake all the time.
You're right.
He was a part of it, but he didn't direct it.
It's
Even
still
though
called Tim
technically
Burton.
it's Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas, but everybody gets confused. It's still debatable whether it's still a Halloween or Christmas movie, which might be foreshadowing.
Which is why we refuse to review it in the month of Halloween or Christmas. But
Hey!
we to anyone out there who's a little worried, like, oh, are you guys stopping the Disney stuff? No, we have something coming out that we've already filmed. Probably it will be out before this video, but it might not be. And also,
one more thing. Happy Halloween! Happy Halloween, guys!
Happy Halloween, everybody!
Halloween.
Of course, this is the final review for the month of Halloween, so we had to go all out.
Or is it?
I think it is. I mean, well, whatever you decide that unspoken movie that also has Tim Burton's name on it is. We will be doing more Disney stuff in the future. We've already talked about maybe doing a Darkwing Duck DuckTales episode, me and Cher have.
Oh,
and other stuff related in the future. Oh yeah, we're going to do the same thing with Christmas that we did here. So literally all of Christmas, we're going to be reviewing Christmas shit.
Like Belle's Enchanted Christmas. And Santa Claus too.
You know, maybe not that one. Maybe not Belle's Enchanted Christmas. Maybe we just, like, you know, not review that one because it's awful.
Aside from Tim Curry, of course.
Even that. I mean, Tim Curry's great, but even that.
Or maybe something that Neil likes that has to do with puppets. And
yes, of course. We will be reviewing the YouTube channel Barnaby Dixon.
Yay! Yay!
That's a joke. She's referencing the Muppets. Anyways, moving forward. What do we think of the original BeetleJuice movie? What was your experience with it and exposure? Let's start with Callum, because I don't actually know if Callum's even seen it.
I haven't, but I do know of it, of course, and I haven't seen brief scenes of it. It's definitely got Tim Burton's signature spooky style on it, and Michael Keaton is just hamming it up and having the role of a lifetime with his role as BeetleJuice. I've just noticed Michael Keaton as a kind of a reoccurring figure in some of Tim Burton's movies, apart from Johnny Depp. He was also Tim Burton's Batman.
Yeah, it also has, like, a bunch of actors you wouldn't necessarily think would be in the movie. Like, Winona Ryder plays Lydia. Alec Baldwin is in that movie. It's weird, man.
Wait,
weird.
Oh, My Badass Russian Santa Claus and Stupid Boss Baby Alec Baldwin?
Yes.
Yep, Alec Baldwin. He plays, I'm forgetting the character's name, Adam Maitland, who is one of the nerdy guys. Not one of the, okay, so you know how in this musical they got Barbara and Adam, the Maitlands?
Mm-hmm.
He played Adam.
Very good.
They are nerdy in the...
My badass Russian Santa Claus and the Stupid Boss Baby.
They're nerdy in the musical, but not really the original movie. So, Cal, what did you hear? Like, did you only know about the musical because I told you about it, or what happened with that?
Well, it was partially through you, and it was also just through... I'm not entirely sure. Probably just rumors of here and there. Just hearing news like, oh, they made BeetleJuice into a musical. Hear bits of the soundtrack, and yeah, that sounds like they've had fun adapting the source material into for Broadway stage musical.
I mean, to be fair, like the idea of a Tim Burton musical, I'm surprised with all of my heart that this is the first one. Like,
oh yeah,
the idea of doing Tim Burton, like, as a stage show, it just sounds perfect to me.
Huh, that's right.
I'm honestly surprised Edward Scissorhands specifically hasn't gotten this treatment.
Oh yeah. Oh man, Tim Burton has so much potential on Broadway. Oh man.
Oh yeah, like not gonna lie at all. Like when you see the Tim Burton-esque stuff pop up on the Broadway stage, it weirdly fits, and how everything looks a little wonky. Like it has its own style that you really can't see in any other Broadway play, and that is solely thanks to the Burton of it all. Like honestly, I'd love to see like Nightmare Before Christmas, the Broadway show,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I don't think that would happen.
Well, you'd need to get things organized. I mean, it's possible. I mean, I've seen Disneyland costumes. It's impressive. I've met Jack Skellington in person. He's a cool dude, and he's worthy on stage.
Oh, I'd
him
love to see it.
thinking,
I just don't think there's a lot of creative liberty you could take with that. And also, just to be honest, I think half of the charm of Nightmare Before Christmas is the stop motion animation.
Fair enough. Yes.
But
hey, remember that one time that they tried to do a sequel, but it got turned into a video game?
I do remember that. I actually haven't played that video game, but Callum told me about it.
It's A Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie Boogie's Revenge. Apparently, it's just a kid-friendly version of Devil May Cry with some dance sequences in between.
Oh, hey, that's what Rebel Taxi said. You know, Pan Pizza.
Are you copying a YouTuber's opinion, Callum? Are you copying him?
I've never heard of him.
I'll kill you.
Who's this?
I'll
pizza
kill you,
guy?
Callum.
I'll come back to haunt you.
I want you to. I want you to forever be stuck with me. That's your hell, not mine.
Well, I
But
guess it's my turn.
yeah, Cher, how did you discover Beetlejuice the musical?
Well, being someone that is a scaredy cat, hence my friend here, Mr. Bones, calls me Scaredy Whiz, I don't like horror, especially if it involves clowns. Pennywise. But anyways, I'm getting over. It's baby steps. It's just baby steps. It's just I'm almost there. Almost there. But anyways, I thought the movie was scary when I first saw it, but then again, I was like, was I 6 or was I 8?
So you have seen the film.
Yeah, Michael Keaton. Yep, sure have. But then as I got older, I tend to appreciate it more, especially with the setting. And plus, I actually did a reaction to it. That was actually one of my very first Halloween reactions on Stardust. You can go check it out. Promoting. Yay. Yep. So, this musical, very interesting. First time watching it, actually. I've only listened to the soundtrack. But pretty interesting. Hey, you know, anything's possible. BeetleJuice has a musical. Addams Family has a Broadway musical. Well, had. Heathers. Honey, what you waiting for? Welcome to my candy sky. Time for you to prove you're not up in more. Step into my candy store.
This weirdly has a couple similarities with Heathers. One of them being like the fact that it's based on like an older movie and that the musical is a million times better than the original movie. But
Oh, really?
I say
Also-
I noticed it too. I think because mainly like Lydia reminds me of like Veronica a little bit, especially with the way that they sing. Like when Lydia sings, like every time Lydia sings, I keep thinking that Veronica from Heathers is like, "I'm a dead girl walking." I'm like, oh, okay.
you want to
And
know
then-
why you might feel that way?
Bye.
The original character of Lydia and Veronica were played by the same person. Winona Ryder played both of them in the original movies.
Oh, well, that's new. Yeah,
that's
so
That's one of the similarities I have.
Addams Family had a Broadway musical. Mean Girls has a Broadway musical. SpongeBob SquarePants has a Broadway musical.
Shrek
And then there's all the other Frozen stuff. Which is my favorite Broadway musical?
Lion King
Well,
has a musical. Aladdin has a musical.
We honestly may eventually review Shrek the musical because much like this one, I think they do little things in both musicals that make it better. But
I think
so here,
it is on Netflix for now, unless Netflix decides to get rid of it as usual.
So when going in, what were your preconceptions and like feelings towards the music and the musical itself?
I just went in with a blind eye.
And what did you come out with?
Nobody
on fire. And I came out with an eye that was literally on fire as BeetleJuice danced on it.
Yep, pretty much.
Oh, what was that?
I said I liked it.
Well, I am happy you liked it. Moving forward, I guess it is my turn. I was almost about to skip my turn. So I actually discovered BeetleJuice kind of a way that harkens back to Reactaholics just a little bit. Now, I don't know if anyone remembers that older episode of Reactaholics where we talked about the Emmys, but I remember
because I wasn't involved at the time.
Well, yeah, you weren't born yet. You weren't alive. You were alive. You just weren't on the channel. Anyways, God, that joke was weird. So, anyways, we talked about the Emmys, and I went on to say I only watched 2 game show award shows ever. And that is the Game Awards, because they announce new video games and stuff, and the Tonys, because the Tonys put on Broadway performances and they really make it a fun show.
Yeah.
It's to try defying gravity. Why can't you just make that into a movie already? Just put Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth in it.
And not Dove Cameron.
Ariana Grande. Oh, well, technically, Ariana has a beautiful voice, but still.
Look, if they did make that, it would be beautiful, and I think it would be pretty good.
Hey,
but
I'm just saying, as long as Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth make a cameo in that movie for Wicked, which unfortunately has a setback, darn you, Universal. But if it was able to be making a movie and defy all the setbacks and defy gravity, I want Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth to at least make a cameo. Better make it happen, please. Make a girl stream come true. And all the other people, but mostly me.
But Cher is right. Weirdly, you just referenced another Broadway musical there. You just referenced the Book of Mormon. But the Tony Awards is, of course, a place where people go on stage, they perform a song or a melody of a song from their show. You have all the set designs and costumes, and you're essentially like trying to get people to go see your show. And
Sisters.
Of course, this has happened with Wicked. This has happened with Hamilton. Pretty much any big show. The list goes on. Finding Neverland, friggin' Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, SpongeBob the musical, even Rent. The list continues.
Frozen. Mean Girls.
Recently, one of the more popular showcases was BeetleJuice. And since I was watching the Tonys, I actually got to see Alex Brightman get up there and perform the whole Being Dead thing, a song from this musical. And after that performance, I slowly but surely got hooked. I got obsessed with this musical to the point where I was like hunting for bootlegs. And I was like, okay,
it was an unhealthy obsession, just like how I have an unhealthy obsession with Wicked.
It was definitely like a whole thing where it was like, I need to see this. I need to see this. So what I ended up doing is actually watching the original movie to like satisfy that urge for a little bit. Because I was like, I really need to see this musical. And I got to be honest, I like the original movie for what it is. I think the musical is much better. The problem with the movie for me is that it focuses too much on Adam and Barbara, the Maitlands, and like Beetlejuice is barely in it. The movie is called BeetleJuice, and he's in it like 20 minutes. I think that the musical answered for this beautifully. Beetlejuice is the main character, and the story is not about Barbara and Adam, but about Beetlejuice and Lydia. And I finally did find a bootleg, and I have seen several bootlegs since. I adore this show. One day I hope to see it live, but that's not happening right now. And with the news that it's actually leaving its theater to make room for Hugh Jackman's new thing, unfortunately, I may never get to see Beetlejuice live. But that is okay, because hopefully that means they'll release it on DVD or something. I know that doesn't always happen, but please.
And then we won't have to pirate or find bootlegs again.
We will have to buy it.
Aye, that won't be so bad. I'm curious about Hugh Jackman's thing now, but that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about Beetlejuice the musical and what it did so well to appeal to Neil. To appeal to Neil, that rhymes.
Well, here's the thing, and I think you guys probably would have figured it out while watching. Did you guys notice something about Beetlejuice the musical? Specifically with Beetlejuice himself. I don't know if you picked up on that.
It's just like how Genie does in like the Hyper Theater of Aladdin.
I mean, yeah, that too. But the comedy style of Beetlejuice is just me. Literally, he's me. I don't know if you like. I'm sure you guys would pick up on this a little bit, but there was specifically a couple of lines where like Beetlejuice is talking to Adam, and Adam like interrupts him while he's talking, and he's like, "Jesus Christ, Adam, geez, why you gotta be so sexy?" I say stuff like that all the time, especially down to the whole, "Adam, you might not recognize me, but I am your father." And then when Adam gets close, he calls him adorable. Also, the whole thing where he's like, "I'm sorry, Adam, it's just you make Daddy so angry."
You've said that in a previous episode of Disney Plus Pals. Like, that was the Peter Pan episode, actually.
I did say that. That was a reference to them, but I have said stuff similar to that in the past where I've just been like, why is it that everybody has to be mean to me when I am clearly the sexiest guy around?
Now I'm imagining you with your
boys and girls. It's mean, nasty, make me want to have you have your supper.
What? Sure, what?
It was a Spy Kids reference. Don't worry about it.
All right.
It was so obscure, man.
I'm just imagining Neil in the black and white clothing with the pale makeup and the dyed green hair acting out the Beetlejuice the musical now.
It's not hard to imagine, is it, Caleb?
No, especially with that voice, Beetlejuice.
I imagine myself in Wicked.
And I'll imagine myself in Hawkeye's costume.
And me.
And I'll imagine Hawkeye himself in the corner, naked.
Ew!
I actually had a dream once about Elsa and how I ended up in her dress, and it was kind of weird.
And then she was in the corner, naked. I've had this same dream.
No, it's not that. I think she just made me a dress, and we just sang "Let It Go" together. It was a weird dream.
Well,
I have
congratulations, Neil. Now the comments are permitted to be more perverted.
You know, for kids.
That's the promise I guarantee. This musical is not for kids, though. I guess they could watch it, but you'd have to see a very sad puppet show.
Yeah, involving a book.
What happens to books when they die?
Out in hell.
Tell my story!
Oh, what? Yeah. You're all laughing? You're all laughing at people dying. Ah.
So with that, let's just jump into Beetlejuice the musical. Of course, this was a big deal. Kind of like what we did with Hamilton, there might be some stuff out of order, We're going to talk about each of the songs, and hopefully give you a nice review. So even though it is a comedy, this musical starts with the
About
death.
You know, for kids.
It's not for kids, though. This time it's not for kids.
I know. I'm just making that nostalgia critic joke.
We must make only original jokes, Cher. We have to be strong and original. So anyways, let's talk about this music.
And obnoxious.
Agreed. Completely obnoxious and original. And with that, let's review this remake of a current movie.
Nah.
So, the musical starts on a funeral, specifically Lydia's, and it opens with, as BeetleJuice himself jokes, a ballad called Invisible. And it's really a sad song that starts off. What did you guys think about this one? Was it like weird for you to start the show like on such a dour note?
It wasn't too alienating actually, because you got to give your main characters motivation on why they're here and what's going to be the main thing that I wouldn't say drive them because they're mourning a death, but what's power
the I Want song.
Yeah. The I Want
Albert
song.
Ashman, you strike again. May you rest in peace.
Yeah.
It is just very sad though, because the I Want song here is really what I lost song. And now I want it back, but I can't get it. Like specifically the lines where she's like talking about like clocks tick and phones still ring. The world carries on like mad, but nobody says a thing. Like that is like
True
depression.
Life. That's
song.
exactly what happens in life. Exactly.
That is depression. The song, man.
Exactly.
And the saddest part is it's kind of right.
And that line just specifically just basically the whole summary of Gary Jules' Mad World. All around me are familiar faces, worn off places, worn off faces.
Is there a reason you're singing it like Goofy?
No, I just wanted to.
Well, I really appreciate the homage.
Life is torture.
That's right.
Life
You're
is
going to grow up to realize the harsh realities.
I especially like the line where she goes, grown-ups try to fix things, but we can't. When they can't, it just fills them in shame. It fills them with shame. And then like it goes back to Lydia herself, where she goes, is it being needy to want somebody to see me and say my name? Like honestly, this poor girl is going through so much.
Around you, say baby I love you. Thank you, baby. Say my name, say my name. You acting kind of crazy and calling me baby. Better say my name.
All you, Charisse. All you.
Little too many song references there. Pull it back a little, but your voice is still beautiful. So moving forward. Of course, this song is heartbreaking, and it's really there to establish that Lydia is a character going through pain and immediately get you on her side. Yeah. And then right after that, BeetleJuice comes up and he fucking starts dancing and singing and having a ball.
Because this show is about death.
It is definitely about death.
Says, well, a way to start with a. Oh no, I've lost the connection.
Oh, what? You're still here?
Yeah, I'm still sorry, lost the connection there.
Oh, he said, "Wow, a ballad already, and such a bold departure from the source material," which is immediately a hilarious joke. He then goes straight into singing the whole being dead thing, which is essentially supposed to tell you what the show is actually going to be. I think what the first song is like saying, hey, we're gonna focus on Lydia's story. You're gonna see it throughout, but don't worry, here's BeetleJuice. We're gonna focus on him too, and this is gonna be a comedy. And there so many good lines and good scenes in this. I think my favorite line is, "Gosh, it's awful, ain't it tragic? Blah blah Bible Jesus magic."
I like how he's like I do this like eight shows like a week or something like that, or eight times a week or something. Very clever, because get it, because Broadway musicals eight shows a week.
Yeah.
He also does cocaine during the song. It's just a really good starter to get you on BeetleJuice's side. How did you guys feel about this song?
Certainly gets you established. Like, okay, I think you perfectly described it there. You get the main character's motivation, but then the villain comes in, and this establishes, remember, this is a comedy. We're not going to take this too seriously. This is a show about death.
I know BeetleJuice is one of the
Did you just end up with like a Tim Curry thing? You just started normal, then you just ended like yeah.
I hesitate to call BeetleJuice the villain because of the original movie. Yeah, he's a total villain, but in this one,
is he more an anti-hero?
I think he's just honest to God stupid. like honestly, I think he just wants something he can't have, and when he gets it, he doesn't know how to deal with it.
He's so desperate, like Donald Trump.
Pick your poison. It must be better than Joe Biden or something.
Hey! Stop it! That's not what this is.
I'm in Scotland. I can say what I want.
I'm in America, and I had to deal with what you say.
Scotland.
Sorry. No, it's true.
I ain't saying shit. I am continuing this wonderful review of BeetleJuice, and you keep the real world out of here.
Well, everything's gonna die eventually, as BeetleJuice says, and the choir backs them up. This is a show about boom. It's made end the musical sequence. Yes.
BeetleJuice. I forgot to mention this. Lydia is played by Sophia Ann Caruso, and
who unfortunately departed abruptly. I forgot why she departed from the show.
It wasn't really discussed, really. She just left last minute. I'm sure there's a reason for it. Her understudy stepped up, which I believe actually plays the Girl Scout in this version. But BeetleJuice is, of course, played by Alex Brightman. In the bootleg we saw, unfortunately, it was not him, which is super unfortunate because I have seen the bootleg.
His performance was good too.
Well, I've seen the bootlegs with him, and they're better. Like, I liked this guy as BeetleJuice too. He did a great job, but Alex Brightman has this charm and charisma with the character, and he sings the songs in that raspy voice. And the way he does that is he actually is able to manipulate his second pair of vocal cords so that he doesn't ruin his singing voice.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Huh. It's really cool and a talent that not all people have.
I mean, you got to take into account there are some song artists and singers out there who do have signature raspy voices, like Bryan Adams. I love him. Rod Stewart. You're gonna wonder how they. Yeah.
Oh, of course. But if you sing with a raspy, if you're faking a raspy voice, and you use it for really long periods of time, that can do damage to your vocal cords, or at least make it where you are actively having to talk in that voice.
Well, yeah, here's an example. I know I keep saying her name, but she's Queen, Idina Menzel. She doesn't have a raspy voice, but she's known for belting. Though sometimes her belting sounds like screaming, and then she has she had a vocal injury during Wicked, so she had to depart. And ever since then, she's been a little bit inconsistent when she sings, but she still has a fabulous voice. It's just sometimes when she tries to hit those high notes, it's like either a hit or a miss.
All
But
right.
overall, she does pretty good. It's just sometimes she has to lower the key of the original, especially if it's frozen,
Okay.
just so she can be able to sing. But that's it's a lucky way, Dina.
So
Yeah,
I just had a thought. If Peter can do it, then that means whoever replaced him had to do it too. That's real talent there.
Wait, you mean Alex?
Peter, you mean Alex Brightman?
Yeah, Alex Bright. Yeah, sorry. If Alex
Why'd
did
you say
then,
Peter?
Sorry, it was Alex. I meant to say Alex. Right. I was trying
Who
to
is
say.
Peter?
Peter Parker?
Yeah. If Alex.
Peter Pan?
If Alex can do it. If Alex can do it.
Alex Russo. Alex Russo.
Alex. Please.
Selena Gomez is Beetlejuice. I'd watch that.
If Alex can do it, then his replacements had to do it too.
Yeah, that's the issue, though, and that's why I say that Alex Brightman is better. His understudies didn't do it. They couldn't do it without damaging their voices, probably.
Yeah,
so instead,
this person in the bootleg that you had me watch, I mean, there's parts where he was able to do it, but not for a long period of time.
Not everybody can do it. Like, even with my little Beetlejuice voice right here, I've like practiced singing the songs, and I can kind of do it, but halfway through like the entire musical, I would start to sound like a middle-aged smoker. Like I would no longer be doing the voice. My voice would just be damaged for the rest of the day.
That's why it's important to drink lots of water and tea.
Mm-hmm.
Or
so even though it's
the circus would call Golem juice, a mixture of lemon, tea, and honey.
Oh, I've heard very good things about like honey in terms of helping your voice.
Mm-hmm.
But moving forward, Alex Brightman is who we are here to talk about today. But we will also be referring to the understudy and stuff. I've seen multiple bootlegs. I think these guys have only seen the one.
Yeah,
but
this is my first time watching it. Well, I've only listened to the soundtrack. I just haven't watched the actual show.
But you have heard the soundtrack, meaning you have heard Alex sing the songs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is good.
Literally like an hour ago.
So this is when Beetlejuice informs everybody about what the show is going to be about. And yes, he informs us. He talks directly to the audience.
Breaking the fourth wall.
Nobody sees him or acknowledges him. Like a gay Republican.
Yeah, I Skyped you about that. I'm like, did he just say that he's a lonely gay Republican?
Like he said, like a lonely gay Republican. Stop invoking Donald Trump's name.
What?
Every time we mention him, someone comments, "Don't be political."
I mean, Borat can do it. Why can't we? Anyway,
we're not Borat. Moving forward, Beetlejuice tells us his stick. He's invisible and he wants to be seen. And how does he get seen? Well, he needs a living person to say his name 3 times. This is, of course, different from the original film, where what happened there was, sorry, my dog is eating a marker. Stop it. What happened there was Beetlejuice would appear or disappear if you said his name 3 times. It's really not consistent, honestly, like the original movie. Here, it's straightforward. You say it 3 times, everyone can see Beetlejuice. And that's what he wants. He also refers to himself several times as being a dead guy, but also refers to himself as a demon and says his mother is a demon. So, I don't know. But Beetlejuice needs someone to say his name, and how's he going to do it? Well, there's this couple, the Maitlands. He goes into their house with some incredible stage design, by the way. And he gets in there, and we get our next song called Ready, Set, Not Yet, where the Maitlands are singing about how they want to start a family. But they don't think they want to start a family, actually.
Oh, yeah, and the Maitlands are played by Rob McClure and Carrie Butler. I don't know if it's the same in the bootleg, though, but here. That's.
I believe it is Rob McClure here. At least I'm pretty sure.
Is Carrie Butler Barbara in
Yes.
this? Okay.
Yeah, she's consistent. Like, no matter what happens with the other actors and stuff, she is in it throughout. The same Barbara has been there since the beginning, which is really good because Barbara has some of the coolest songs in this musical, in my opinion. Starting with this one, it's basically about the Maitlands just telling us who they are and what their lives are. This is kind of their I Want song. They want to start a family. They want to take the next step in life, but they don't think they're ready for it. And the entire time, BeetleJuice is just sitting there waiting for them to die.
Wearing 3D, red and blue 3D sunglasses and popcorn, like a casual audience member.
Well, BeetleJuice does mention that he's been waiting for them to die for, like, ever. Like, he's just been chilling here, hoping they die at some point. And now it's finally happened. During this song, which I think is pretty good, it's not the best song in the musical, but it's pretty okay. Very good at establishing these characters. At the end, they jump to hug each other, and their floor gives way, and they die. Leading to BeetleJuice to go, "See, I wasn't kidding, it's a show about death." The audience claps, and then BeetleJuice goes, "Oh, wow, those guys just died and you're clapping." Of course, BeetleJuice can talk to the audience and see that they're there, giving him the Deadpool aspect.
Yay, the fight breaking the fourth wall like Deadpool and Pinkie Pie.
Well, he does continue like his little spree, but first, before he can talk to the Maitlands, he's got to get rid of the rule book. Now, in the version we watched, he just pulled it out of like a cabinet or something. But in the original, it would literally fall from the sky, like attached to a little cord.
Oh.
Anyways.
Which one's better? Which one do you think is better?
I like that he has to, like, it falls out of the sky, because, like, if he just pulls it out of a cabinet, why?
I don't know why. I don't know why I thought you said he was going to pull it out of his.
Oh, no, that would be hilarious. But no, instead of pulling out of his... he pulls it out of a cabinet, and then in the original, it falls out of the sky. I think that's better, because, like, you know, it's like maybe a sign from like some deity where it's like, "Here, I will guide you through the afterlife." And BeetleJuice just picks it up and chucks it in a fire. That's funny to me.
Oh, wait, isn't this where he does like the sad puppet show?
That's the puppet joke, yes.
The sad puppet show.
Yeah, essentially, for those of you unfamiliar, he grabs the book and makes it talk with his hands, and it's like, "Mr. BeetleJuice, what happens when your book dies?" And BeetleJuice is like, "I don't know, book. Let's find out." He chucks it in the fireplace, and the book goes, "No! Tell my story." And he looks to the audience and goes, "Sometimes puppet shows are sad." And that's true. What were you about to say, Cal?
I don't think I was going to say anything of major significance there.
Well, this book was called the Hand Guide for the Recently Deceased. It's very popular. It's actually a very big piece of merch that the movie has created. And of course, the musical has just promoted it further. The Maitlands get out of their hole, and they're scared. They realize they're dead. There's a cool shot where, referencing the original movie, Barbara touches the fireplace and her fingertips catch fire. Once again, great prop work. And BeetleJuice comes out and is like, "Hey, I'm dead. You're dead. Let's be dead together."
Let's be dead buddies.
And they are not receptive to that. BeetleJuice literally says, "Thank God this is a musical." And he sings a song to get them on his side. This is like a reprise of the whole being dead thing, one of several. And yeah, they join up with him because there are new people moving into the house. Here we get the joke where it's like, Adam, I am your father. And then Beetlejuice makes out with both him and Barbara against their will because Beetlejuice is a perv. We also are introduced to the Deets, who is what's the name of Lydia's dad? Charles? Charles Deets?
I think so, yeah, Charles. Yeah, Charles Dietz. And then you had Lydia Dietz. And then you have Delia Schlimmer Snurp Snurp Snurp.
I remember her last name was like a joke. It was like Schnurpabonker or something.
Wait, it's Delia Schlimmer.
Oh, it's Schlimmer?
Yeah, Schlimmer.
That's less cool. I thought it was Schnurpabonker. That's such a cooler name. Fuck you, Beetlejuice the musical. You're terrible now. But yeah, they come in, they're moving in all their stuff, and we are introduced to the fact that Charles is totally banging Delia. We are introduced to this several times, sometimes uncomfortably. But they are a couple and they are trying to hide that fact from Lydia. In fact, they've banged so often, there's a point where Charles looks to the audience and says, yes, I know, I'm great at sex. Which is hilarious to me. But a couch is moved in, and it's got like a tarp on it. You pull off the tarp, Lydia's underneath of it. Lydia talks to Delia, who is supposed to be her like life coach to help her be less depressed. And they do knock-knock jokes. Delia gets scared by Lydia. She leaves, and we get what I think might be the best song in the whole thing, Dead Mom.
Dead Mom.
What did you guys think of Dead Mom? Callum, how do you feel about your Dead Mom?
Whoa. Never thought someone would ask me that about in this kind of show. Certainly another one to get us into the shoes of one of our main characters, somewhat upbeat, surprisingly enough, but then again, I suppose it was sometime after her funeral.
I mean, I think like what this is to establish is that sometimes Lydia just talks to her mom because she's depressed. She just wants her mom back.
Yes.
And like she is literally like, it's mentioned that Charles doesn't want Lydia to say her mom's name because it hurts him. So I think Lydia has just taken to saying dead mom. And this song is supposed to like, I think this song is actually also depressing. Because
it does. It's the show about death.
It is the show about death, and I think Lydia, more than any other character, feels the brunt of that.
Yep.
But
she's but it's a pretty killer song at the same time.
Oh, it's great. She like Sophia Ann Caruso nails the song, where there are just so many choices from her that I've seen her understudy perform this, and while I think it's still really good, like obviously Broadway has top-notch people even as the understudies. Sophia Ann Caruso, much like Alex Brightman, just brings something to the role that is unexpected. And she is just nailing every note and taking it in such a direction you don't really expect. Like, there's even a point where she goes, I'm probably talking to myself here, but then Mom, I have to ask. And that's at the very beginning. And then towards the end of the song, you see how emotional she's gotten. She desperately wants to believe she's talking to her mom right now, but part of her doesn't. And that shit's sad. But anyways, now back to the funny. It seems like every time we get like a really serious Lydia song, we have to go back to BeetleJuice where he'll sing like a funny song.
All right.
This is where we get Fright of Our Lives. This song is about BeetleJuice trying to teach the Maitlands how to scare these people out of their house. Did you like this one, Callum?
Yeah, it was just quite funny. Just the casual, typical American couples attempt to be scary that completely fails for Beetlejuice's standard.
I just like the part where it's like the choir people come and then like they just like interrupt the choir. They're like, dude, what the heck? We were having
that was a soliloquy. So you're the one being rude, Adam. I agree with you. Like that choir was doing amazing. Did you notice, Cher, in the version we watched, one of the choir women in the background flips them off? Oh, hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Whenever you guys are too quiet, I'm like, oh my god, I'm alone.
Oh my gosh, I just died a little bit inside.
But yeah, the song is very catchy. We get more original movie references where Beetlejuice does his throwing voice thing where it's like, for your friends, fun at party. That is directly dialogue from the original movie, and it comes back later. This is where Beetlejuice realizes, oh shit, the Maitlands are wussies. And that is not a good thing.
They're hopeless, worthless, pathetic, poor unfortunate souls.
I incredibly like the line where he's like, I did want to help you, Barbara. That's literally all I wanted to do. But you're hopeless. And then he's like, here's hope. Here's you. Oh, it's going down. Look, it's Les.
Oh, I think it was actually helpless, not hopeless. That's like, here's help, here's Les.
It's still a funny joke.
Yes,
I think you're right, actually, though. I think I was wrong. So Beetlejuice ditches them. And they have a...
tries to ditch them.
Well, he walks out. Doesn't he, like, start to walk out, and then he's like, fuck you guys. And then he does walk out.
Yep.
By the way, we're finally reviewing something that has the word fuck in it. Joke's on you, Hamilton.
Well, I guess because, Disney had an honor, like, nope, you can't, nope.
Disney
family.
Even though my good friend, Squid Jenna, aka Brooks, has said that they kept the F word in for the X-Men movies. What gives?
Why is it that Wolverine's allowed to say fuck? But, like, once again, Hugh Jackman just ruining everything.
This is not his greatest show.
Oh,
do that eventually. So, anyways, we get a reprise of Ready, Set, Not Yet, where they're like, oblivion calls, so we might as well walk through some walls. They're gonna go haunt and get their house back. Again, I love Barbara's voice. I don't know what it is about this actress, but she's very good in this role. So they go scare the Dietzes. And Lydia sees them in the sheets, takes a picture, and they get scared of her and run away. Lydia follows them up into the attic, and this is where they meet. Lydia can see them, and Barbara even mentions, how can you see us? We were told that the living ignore the strange and unusual. And then Lydia says the classic line, perhaps because I myself am strange and unusual. So they become besties, and they agree to try to help her get her dad out of the house. You see, Lydia doesn't really want to live there either. In the original movie, she straight up wanted to go back home. But in this one, she wants her dad to acknowledge the existence of ghosts. That way she can have more freedom to talk about, like, her mom. And they try to do this, and all that ends up happening is Lydia discovers that Delia and Charles are banging. This is actually where we get that line of, yes, I'm very good at sex.
He pulls off the bed covers, and we get very, very awkward reaction from everyone and the audience.
Oh dear, what an awkward situation.
Also, they were smoking before this, so after Lydia goes, Delia just opens her mouth, smoke comes out, and she goes, hey. It is hilarious. But this hurts our poor, dear, sweet Lydia. Lydia, of course, really is the heart of the show. And much like the original, but in the original, it was kind of unfounded. In the original, Lydia writes a suicide note and decides she's going to kill herself. But there wasn't a ton of reasoning for it, except that, like, Delia told her to be normal. I don't know. It seemed less, like, it kind of seemed like a shock that the Lydia was willing to do it. Here, Lydia is heartbroken and she actually reads the note herself. And you kind of get what drove her to that point. Meanwhile, BeetleJuice is singing a reprise of the opening song Invisible. You know, that really sad song sung by Lydia? BeetleJuice is singing it now, and instead of having those really beautiful lines, he has a line that is literally, if they could look up, they'd see, hey, somebody's on the roof. I just think it's funny that BeetleJuice's version is so much shittier, especially when he compares himself to Hipster Vape. I'm just saying, that song is heartbreaking to me, and the fact that BeetleJuice is making fun of it is still hilarious.
And then, do we get the next song is probably my favorite one.
Oh yeah, this has been the main highlight
song.
of the show, taking that classic scene from the film and then just implementing it to the musical format.
I love that song you guys are referring to. Do you guys want to talk about this scene?
Send my name, send my name.
So, the main girl is about to contemplate jumping off the roof. She says, my life sucks. BeetleJuice says, well, that makes two of us. She goes, who said that? For whatever reason, she can see and hear BeetleJuice, which is a great revelation to BeetleJuice.
She sees that.
I mean, I remember, like, I don't know if you saw this part, Cal, but the joke is as soon as, like, he sees her, he's like, you can see me? And then Lydia goes, yeah, you look like a zebra that was killed by some lions because they were going to eat it. But then they realized that something was wrong with it. So they just let it rot there in the hot African sun. And then he goes, you can't see me. I'm going to have a new best friend.
Big musical high note of him saying friend.
Oh, of course. But BeetleJuice, like, this is where I hesitate when you called him the villain, Callum. BeetleJuice is the one that stops Lydia from committing suicide. And I get, like, it's for selfish reasons. Like, he's doing it because he can, like, get her to say his name 3 times. But he still stops it from happening. He even says, no, look. Your dad, if you kill yourself, your dad's not going to be sad. You're just going to be dead. Please do not impale yourself on that bird bath. And they have a little discussion about it. He offers his assistance if she agrees to say his name 3 times. And they sing this glorious song, Say My Name. What did you guys think about this? What did you like about it? Cher, you seem to have some opinions.
I just think it's really catchy, and I like how they incorporate the stuff like in the movie into the musical, and it's just It's just pretty funny. I just like it. She's like, I don't know your name. Well, I can't say it. How about a game of charades? Let's play it. 2 words. Second word, drink, beverage, wine, juice. Okay, first word, ant, bug, beetle, Beetlejuice.
Wow, I'm impressed.
And then, but my favorite part was like she's about to say Beetlejuice 3 times, but then when she gets to the third part, she's like Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice,
Yeah.
because you're so smart. Stand up, bro. And then she's like Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, be a doll. I was like,
I agree.
Beetlejuice being young and female doesn't mean that I'm easy as Mark.
And he just reacts right over the top the whole time. I think this song is really important because it needs to establish not only that Lydia is going to be the one to release Beetlejuice, but also that this chemistry these two characters have right off the bat. Because the whole second act is them hanging out for the most part.
Pretty much.
Oh so yeah, and then I like this clever part where after Beetlejuice possesses Barbara and Adam, she's like, "What the hell is that?" And he's like, "Oh, that's possession. Any ghost can do it in one lesson." And she's like, "Well, Beetlejuice, yeah. What do I need you for?"
And Beetlejuice is just like, "Oh shit." He gave himself up, and it's a really good scene because in this moment, Lydia outsmarted Beetlejuice. She got what she wanted and didn't release him. I think this is one of the best songs in the musical. I really like Dead Mom just because of like the emotions in it. But this song is definitely like okay, you guys are here to see these two characters. Here's their song. And I loved it. I thought it was really good. But moving forward, this gives Lydia the idea to have the Maitlands possess some stuff. We get a brief like ending to Say My Name where Barbara learns how to possess stuff. And they're like, we don't need that demon. The 3 of us alone will wreck Dad's evening. So that's exactly what they do. They wait for a business date that he's having with his boss, who is a bad guy. They just keep saying he's a terrible person. And Beetlejuice is not there. He's not involved with the scene yet. It's just the Maitlands. And we get the classic movie scene of Dale. We say Dale.
Daylight come, you wanna go home.
And everybody gets possessed into singing it, which I think is done really well with Charles specifically, where he's like, what I think Delia was trying to say is, work all night till the morning come.
Daylight come, you wanna go home.
Jack banana, daylight come, man, we wanna go home. That's the pig. They also possess like this cooked boar, and they make it start singing. They do a bunch of wacky stuff to haunt them. They strip Delia down to her knickers. They have everybody dance.
Unfortunately, it doesn't.
I mean, you're right. It doesn't work. It's not enough because the boss guy is like, holy shit, a haunted house? We can make money off of this. And Lydia is heartbroken. And she realizes, okay, there's only one way to do this. Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice pops up. And he's like, oh, you won't regret this. He literally comes out of the bottom of the table she's standing on. And she says it again, Beetlejuice. And he's like, okay, we are going to do so much chaos together. But I need just one more. Beetlejuice!
Yes!
It's showtime. Beetlejuice can be seen now. He literally says, "Can you see me?" And everyone screams. And we get another reference where he creates a little carnival. He sends people flying. And then he turns into a giant Beetlejuice. It's a great prop, a great looking puppet. Giant hands grab Lydia and not Lydia, Delia and Charles, throw them out, and the entire place gets burdened. All of it is burdened. Everything is black. There are these images all over it. It's just different. Everything looks wonky. And he goes, "Guess we're not invisible now, kid." And that's where we get our intermission break.
Excellent.
So what did you guys think of the first half? Did you have any favorite scenes?
For some reason, I thought Callum was about to just get up and just go, like, use the bathroom. Because he said intermission, so I just saw Callum just, like, literally get up. And I'm like, oh, is he about to go to the bathroom because of the intermission?
We're not having an intermission, Callum. Don't leave.
Oh, in which case, let's just get on with the show. Right.
Well, Callum, no, the show is back here. Callum! Callum! What are you doing?
Having fun.
What is that on your head?
It's a hat.
Oh, he's trying to be like me.
Oh, I thought that was like the hat they wear in SpongeBob when they sing Sweet Victory.
I thought it was a fez.
It's too long to be a fez. That's a very erect fez. It fell off. But moving forward, what did you guys think about Act 1?
Well, we certainly established quite the show so far, eh, Charisse?
Did you guys have a favorite part?
Probably
Say the name.
Yeah, the Say the Name sequence. Probably
And Dead Mom.
It's probably a little bit different from the film version, which is a bit slower, and this game of charades is more elaborate, and there's still other gags, and it's a bit particularly visual with Beetlejuice being able to summon visuals to directly help her out, like a direct vision of orange juice in the film version. But here it's all just pretty much summarized in song, just very quick, very snappy, but just long enough to know that everyone knows what they're talking about. And of course, the best part is she's teasing him by not saying Beetlejuice 3 times, and he's overreacting and just getting really frustrated. Then, of course, she outsmarts him, and yeah, pretty fun sequence. I don't know if there's not much else to say.
Was that your favorite joke? The fact that he was getting frustrated?
Yes.
I think my favorite joke, if I'm thinking about it, I just love like Beetlejuice interacting with Adam. Because like Beetlejuice is a flirty wacko in this musical.
That reminds me of somebody.
I have no idea who you're referring to. And you're sexy for doing it.
It's you, isn't it?
No. It's Callum's other friend, Neil Furris. Not Neil Burris. Different guy. Different guy.
Right.
Right.
I literally just called Callum sexy, so.
I
I'm
get
not flirty. I'm just.
You are.
Flirty.
You call yourself pretty.
I am pretty. You're right.
Yes, we need to remind Neil that's that's his term. Yes, we got to speak on his terms.
Yes.
What was your
Well, anyway. Oh, what was that?
What was your favorite part of the first act?
I really liked Beetlejuice and Adam. I think Beetlejuice up on the roof is very funny. Especially because he's just ruining the great song we started the show with. I think that one scene where they like enter the house and everything changes. And then at the end where it changes again. I think those are some of the best things. I love the Beetlejuice puppet. I don't know. It was great. I just love the whole first act. And the second act really plays with that momentum. Going forward, we start not with Beetlejuice, not with Lydia, not with the Maitlands, not with the Deets, but with a new character. A little girl.
Oh, yes.
With the Girl Scout named Sky.
Aww,
And she
Sky
is excited because you guys see, she has a heart condition. So usually she wasn't allowed to be in the Girl Scouts. But the good news is she's finally allowed to do it. This heart condition makes it where she gets too scared she could die. And it is 100% that old joke about the bomb with a timer.
Yeah.
You know that joke's going to happen. You know somebody is going to unfortunately kill this little girl.
I know. I was like, when I first saw this, I was like, "Oh, that's me. I used to be a Girl Scout. Something terrible's gonna happen to her."
I just like the line of jamborees, soda pop. Not gonna think about how my heart might stop. It's just hilarious how much they're building it up. And then when she finally does get scared during that beautiful sound, she doesn't die. They actually make an effort to say, wow, my heart is stronger than I thought. So she does actually live. So they completely subvert that joke.
Thank God.
Although the entire time you're just standing there like, they're going to kill this little girl.
And I was like, well, at least it's not another unfortunate event. Thank God it's just not a series of unfortunate events.
Which would happen to involve a certain guy who is...
Does a lot of Broadway.
It
was a good Netflix show. I like that show. So anyways, Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice, it's showtime. Anyways. Beetlejuice and Lydia sing a song called That Beautiful Sound, where it establishes what they were doing during the break. They're scaring the hell out of people. They're just having a good time.
And Beetlejuice makes multiple versions of himself.
Yep, that way they can have a dance number. You know what would make this even more awesome? More me!
Send in the clowns.
Also, if you can't get your hands on a bootleg but want to see the scene, they actually perform it on The View, where Beetlejuice specifically says he wants to talk to Whoopi Goldberg. Anywho, going further, this song happens. It's a very nice song. Sort of a play on the whole being dead thing. It's like the next step with that. We're like, hey, I'm kind of alive now and I'm excited. But Lydia gets her hands on the handbook for the recently deceased, which I guess they do kill somebody, because how else would they have gotten one? Maybe they did kill Sky. I don't know. I guess I didn't notice. But they do get the book again, and Lydia starts reading it, and she's like, holy shit, I could go see my mom. And Beetlejuice is like, oh, forget about your mom. My mom sucks. She's an actual demon.
He has abandoned issues.
He has bad history with his mom. Well, his mom is literally like yelling at him all the time. Like, I believe one of the funnier lines is, why did you leave like your father? Beetlejuice is just sad and kind of dumb, and he is totally a bad guy, but, you know, he's still funny.
I thought you said he wasn't really a bad guy. Now you think he is a bad guy? You're making me confused.
Okay, in the entire first act, Beetlejuice is not a bad guy. In the second act, he starts to do some bad things. But that being said, Beetlejuice doesn't actually kill anybody. Even though, well, actually, I think he actually kills one person. but that might be it.
He tricks you. He pulls you in, but then tricks you when he gets what he wants. In his words, it's your dad.
Look, the whole thing is you're supposed to feel for BeetleJuice, but also, like, even Lydia doesn't call him a villain. Like, Lydia's like, he's just lonely and stupid. So because of that, I don't think he's a villain, but he definitely is like an adversary at times. Like he is an enemy. So this is sort of flirting with that, where he's like, okay, so I don't actually want to be visible anymore. I want to be human. And the only way he can do that is if he marries a living person. So he decides to marry Lydia, and everybody thinks it's creepy. His big defense is like, it's a green card thing. Like, he's not actually interested in Lydia. He just kind of wants to be human.
Underage.
Oh, yeah, and they lampshade the hell out of that later.
Is now a good time to bring up that high school necrophile joke again?
I mean, God. Lydia is no part of that.
Hey, as long as you're able to get your head in the game and start breaking free, because we're all in this together, just stick to the status quo.
That's debatable with BeetleJuice. He might get his head right off. Not Kevin Feige. The other one. The other guy we like. Kenny Ortega. Kenny Ortega. Make a BeetleJuice movie. But continuing forward, he decides that he's going to manipulate Lydia into marrying him. And they often, like, for the record, they're not saying, oh, this is a good thing. They oftentimes say, no, this is creepy. BeetleJuice wanting to marry this girl is not a good thing. They have a hilarious song called Creepy Old Dude. Mm-hmm. In the song, they literally say, I can't believe other cultures do this in real life. But moving
I want to touch up on that subject.
Mm-hmm. Moving forward, the Maitlands are up in the attic. They're just stuck there. And they decide, okay, it's time for us to, like, go save Lydia. And the way they do this is they sing a song called Barbara 2.0. Again, this calls back to the fact that Barbara might be one of the best singers in the whole show, where she is just nailing these beautiful lyrics about, hey, I don't like the people we used to be, but that's okay. We have our whole afterlives ahead of us. Let's be those people we want to be now. And that is beautifully exemplified in the line, the Barbara you married, she is dead and buried. I just love how good this song is. I don't think it's my favorite, but it's catchy. I find myself humming it while I cook and stuff. I once hummed it on the bus where someone asked me if my name was Barbara, which it is not. Yet. Anyways, they decide they're going to go help Lydia. What was that, Cher?
Nothing.
Okay. They decide they're going to go help Lydia. And this is around Willard, Delia, and Charles come in and also try to get Lydia and just get her out of the house. But Delia has a plan. She has contacted her guru, Otho, who is another character from the movies. Otho comes in and he has all of this ghost hunting stuff, and he's going to go after BeetleJuice. Using this ghost hunting stuff, I don't think it actually works, honestly. I think it completely fails, but Lydia thinks it's going to work. So she goes in and she tries to, like, do a spell or something using the book. I think to summon ghosts, or is she trying to summon her mom? Yeah, that's right. She's trying to summon her mom, but it's a whole... What was that, Chair?
She's copying me now. You must be what I.
I am so confused. What is happening, people?
Why don't you copy along too, everybody? You'll learn some stuff.
I'm so confused. I can't see you guys. Are you like exchanging messages or something?
She's just copying me.
What do you mean she's copying you? She's not saying anything.
I will speak on her part. She presumably likes whatever scene you were talking about.
Yep.
Thanks. Great review. God, I've lost my train of thought. Essentially,
Lydia summoning her mother, going down new character from old movies here.
Yeah. She's trying to like summon her mom, but instead, BeetleJuice gave her the wrong thing, and she has started an exorcism on Barbara. And it's established exorcism is death for the dead. Like if this happens, Barbara's gone for good, and no one knows what happens.
I have been changed for good.
So BeetleJuice says that he can undo it, but he needs Lydia to marry her. Of course, her dad is like, what? BeetleJuice just says it's a green card thing. It's not a romance thing. And she agrees to save Barbara. Barbara comes down. He's about to send Barbara and Adam into the netherworld. But BeetleJuice argues that she should get to say goodbye. But instead of saying goodbye, she runs into the underworld to try and find her dad. Not her dad, her mom.
And, yeah, because her dad is dead too.
Well, her dad follows her. Charles runs.
I know. I was just saying because she said that she's trying to find her dad, but really much like she's trying to find her mom. So, yeah.
Indeed. But she runs to the underworld, and BeetleJuice just is heartbroken, and he's like, "Why does everybody leave me?" So he decides he's just gonna kill everybody there. Which the only people he can actually kill there are Ortho and Delia. Which, to his credit, he does kill Ortho. I'm pretty sure he kills Ortho.
Oh no, he's dead. Well, trying to get ready for Thanksgiving.
What a shame. Well, they go into the underground, and we actually have to backtrack a little bit because we skipped a song that wasn't super important to the plot, but was still a pretty good song, which is called Everything Happens for a Reason. It is a song between Delia and Lydia, and it is a little before Lydia meets BeetleJuice. It's right before she's about to get scared by the Maitlands. This song is probably one of the funnier ones in the musical. We skipped it because it's not plot important.
Oh, is this from Act 1?
Yeah, it's the one where it's like, everything happens for a reason.
It's called No Reason.
Oh yeah, you're right. Because that's the version Lydia's singing. Essentially, the whole song is Delia going, everything happens for a reason. And Lydia going, no, it does not. You're dumb. You're stupid. And then the second half of the song is Delia having a panic attack and essentially recapping her life, where she literally says, be prepared to take your eggs and freeze them. And also mentions that her husband had a boyfriend and they ran away to Rome. And you have to buy a cat because that's your last chance to have a family. It's not a super plot important song, but the reason I mention it is because the actress who plays Delia is about to have another song down in the underworld called What I Know Now, which is sung by all the ghosts.
Oh yeah, she does play two parts.
Yeah, she comes in, she sings this song as Miss Argentina. Of course, you would recognize her from the movie. There are, of course, a bunch of different football players and this one boss character whose name I forget. She becomes important later. Cher, could you look up her name?
Who are we talking about?
The boss character who is later revealed to have a connection to BeetleJuice.
Oh, relationship wise.
All right.
Yeah.
When you mentioned Miss Argentina, I can't help but stop thinking about. I keep thinking about Evita.
Evita?
Don't cry for me, Argentina. The truth is, I never left you.
Well, it's a reference to like a swimsuit model. Like, you know, you have this like.
Yeah, her name is Juno.
Juno is the name of the character. But Miss Argentina is the one singing the song. And of course, like, it's all about these dead people saying, like, never smoke in bed and stuff like that. Just talking about how all of them have accidentally died. In fact, if I recall, all of these specific people have accidentally killed themselves because, like, that's one of the things from the movie. Like, if you kill yourself, you have to become a servant in the afterlife.
Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die.
But we also see the tiny face guy, which, by the way, the tiny face guy is actually the composer. Like, during the entire play, there's a tiny face guy who is orchestrating the band.
Ah, makes sense.
It's one of those things where it's like, Beetlejuice the musical is so charming that they made their fucking... what's the name of the guy with the little stick who is in the middle of the band? There's a name for them.
The conductor.
The conductor. Yeah, he's got the tiny face costume on the entire play. Anyways, after this song, Lydia tries to find her mom. She is looking everywhere, but the afterlife is eternal. She's never going to find her. And that's where we get the song Home, where Lydia has to come to peace with the idea that, like, she's not going to find her.
Just do the next right thing.
You have not sung one song from BeetleJuice, young lady. You are singing all the other songs, and it is not okay.
She's a human jukebox, just like my cousin Rebecca.
Hey, that's what my parents call me all the time. No, really, they call me a human jukebox. I pretty much have any song pop out of my head for any occasion. My parents call me a human, jukebox. For
right,
better and for worse.
Okay. Try playing something a bit more relevant to what's going on.
I'm sorry, but this is unavailable. Please try again later.
Okay.
Now watch this, Callum. Watch this now. Play something from Wicked.
It's time to try defying gravity.
You see?
Well, then again, I was using British money, so yeah.
I used $1. But this song is, like, very poignant. It's the end of Lydia's arc. She accepts her mom isn't coming back. Her dad finally says her mother's name and convinces her to go home to fight that stupid ghost with the weird hair. But
She's
Lydia's
gonna do the next right thing. I like this song.
Well, Lydia is, like, trying to make a plan. She appears in a red dress, no idea how she got it. And
maybe it's part of like the movie reference.
No, wait, guys.
It is a movie reference, but
I know where she got the costume from. She got it from the costume department.
Wonderful. Great lore, Callum. But I hate you. Lydia reappears Beetlejuice has already killed Ortho, and they need to distract Beetlejuice and convince him that they're like all on their side. So essentially everybody starts flirting with Beetlejuice, including
Beetlejuice
Adam.
is so hot and sexy. Take it off, honey. Take it off.
Well,
Yeah.
Beetlejuice has, like, Adam has the best line in the musical, in my opinion, where he goes, "You have harassed me, berated me, and insulted me. And I have to tell you, it has worked. I want you, Beetlejuice." And then
I know. He's like, now hold on just a damn minute.
It is hilarious. The best line in the whole thing, if you ask me.
I had to keep rewinding that back because I just couldn't. I just found it so funny. I just kept rewinding it back. I was like, oh my god, this is so funny.
And then Barbara like slaps Adam in the face and is like, "How dare you? I also love Beetlejuice." Beetlejuice puckers his lips, thinking he gets to make out with Barbara too, and Barbara just turns away. We all do. We all love Beetlejuice, and this is where we get the song "Creepy Old Guy," which is hilariously creepy. Way back when I was just 10, civil and sweet. Do, 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 do. How do we talk about this song?
Very awkward, but kind of catchy.
Awkwardly catchy. I mean, I like the line of creepy old guy, I'm so happy I could cry. And of course, Beetlejuice gets a point in the song where he's like, "S to a T, fancy and formal. I found me a wife, but how to life. This is so normal." And then he just goes, "Giving up for my underage bride." And of course, as Callum mentioned, there is a point in the song where everyone stops singing, looks to the audience, and goes, "I can't believe some cultures think this kind of thing's all right." But nonetheless, this works. Beetlejuice thinks he's actually getting married and does so. But lo and behold, it was a trip, and Lydia stabs and kills him. But at first, Beetlejuice gets to feel what it's like to be human. And he's like, "Oh, the sun is shining. That makes me happy. But what if this happiness goes away? That makes me sad. And being sad makes me depressed, because as a nation, we don't teach men how to deal with sadness. And that makes me angry. And now I want to kill Beetle." So he tries to go kill, like, I think, Charles. And Lydia just stabs him.
Wow.
This is where Lydia's plan comes to fruition, and they're about to send Beetlejuice into the underworld and get him stuck there.
Like Hades. Just kidding.
So before this happens, though, if you'll recall, Juno got angry that Lydia was in the underworld. So Juno actually walks out and goes, "Beetlejuice? What are you doing here?" And it's actually revealed during the musical that Beetlejuice's first name is Lawrence, which I think is hilarious.
Lawrence Beetlejuice.
But
Lawrence
so she's like, "Lawrence, what are you doing?" And Beetlejuice is like, "Oh, hi, Mom." And it's revealed Juno is his mom in this version of the play. And Juno actually becomes the main villain here because she's about to take Lydia back to the underworld. And Beetlejuice steps in and was like, "Listen, Mom, being alive is a goddamn roller coaster. But it's precious, and I won't let you take it from her." And then Juno throws Beetlejuice out the door. I guess we forgot to mention this. This is something better explained in the movie. It's one of the few things that is. If you go outside of your house, like the place you died, you are greeted with like a hell space, and a giant worm that eats ghosts will appear. This is called the Sand Snake. And BeetleJuice theoretically is about to get eaten by one as he's run out there. Juno goes aggro and attacks everybody. What was that, Calvin?
I was about to say, no, we're not talking about the upcoming adaptation of June.
Yeah, not those. Those are different. This is Tim Burton.
Yes.
So BeetleJuice comes back in riding the Sand Snake to save the day. And the Sand Snake falls on Juno and eats her, leading BeetleJuice to have the very poetic line of, "Hey, Lydia, now we both have dead mobs."
Wow.
Yeah, the joke is not okay. BeetleJuice realizes that he has to go. He wants to go look for his dad. He even says, "Sequel, baby!" So he looks to everybody and says goodbye. He starts with Charles, where he calls him an old bastard, and Charles just wants nothing to do with him. He compliments Adam and calls him sexy one more time, where he's like, "Adam, you're remarkably simple, but you're sexy. Go with it." He says bye to Barbara, and one of my favorite lines is he goes to Dahlia, and Delia goes, "My name is Delia," and BeetleJuice goes, "Yeah, we didn't talk much. Okay, Barbara," and just walks away from her. He says bye to Lydia, who says he smells like shit, and then BeetleJuice leaves, riding on his Alaskan bullworm from SpongeBob.
It was an Alaskan bullworm!
So we get the final song of the musical, which is "Shake, Shake, Shake, Senora. Shake your body right." But added with the reprise of like a little bit of Home, where Lydia's like, "But Mama, I'm home. Daylight coming, we want to go home." I like that they tied those two things together. And this is really the end. We get to see Lydia fly.
She's defying gravity.
That she is. And that's it. That is BeetleJuice, the musical. That's all, folks. So, what did you guys think of the whole thing in the second half? Did you laugh? Did you cry? Did you feel?
Well, I think the highlight of the second act, I must say, is just the mere existence of the creepy old man song.
I mean, I agree. It's a very funny song. I think my favorite part is just Lydia in the underworld getting through her shit, though.
Yeah.
Like,
realizing that her mom's not going to come back, and she accepts that.
Because in other stories, Lydia would have found her mom, and then her mom would have told her, "Hey, it's okay, keep living life, and you'll see me eventually." No, this story says, yeah, she's gone, but that shouldn't devalue the rest of what life has to offer.
Remember, don't take life for granted.
That's very much a good lesson. I do think that's the lesson of this musical. Also, don't marry old dudes.
Although, I hear
it's a green card thing. So what did you guys think? How does this rank for you musical wise? We don't have a rating system for this, so let's just go like 1 to 10.
1 being the worst, 10 being the best.
Well, 1 being this is the worst thing you've ever seen, like worst Broadway show ever. 10 being this is one of the best Broadway shows you've ever seen, and whenever people talk about Broadway shows, you're going to recommend it.
Who wants to go first with their ratings?
I guess I could go first since I'm the one who recommended we review this at all.
Yes.
I do think this is going to be one of my favorite musicals of all time, just because of how like close to me the comedy style is. Like, these are jokes I say, and they make me laugh like no tomorrow. And I love the jokes and the songs. Like, the idea of writing a song specifically about marrying an older person and how creepy that is totally up my alley. And there's so much charm and style to it. I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I don't want to give it a 9 because I do think there's room to improve, and we've seen like just how dependent it is on its leads. Like, Alex Brightman, I think, really makes the show. So if he's not BeetleJuice, I think it takes a hit. And on one hand, relying on your leads is something you can do, but if you're doing like a Broadway show, like eventually you had to replace those leads. So I don't know. If it was a movie, I guess I'd be a little more lenient on it.
Particularly a movie with, I don't know, Michael Keaton, directed by Tim Burton.
A movie you do once and you can watch it however many times you want. With a Broadway show, you're doing it live and it changes every time you do it a little bit. So I am going to give it an 8.5. I think BeetleJuice is great. I adore it. I don't think it's the best thing ever. It's not my favorite musical. But admittedly, like I know all the songs and I really like it. I would love to play BeetleJuice one day. But it's an 8.5 for me. What do you guys think? You got numbers yet?
I think I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
A 7? Why so?
I don't think this is the absolute best musical adaptation that I've seen, but working with the source material and how creative they get, I think, yeah, this actually kind of suits being a musical in a bizarre sense.
I agree. Like, even though like I didn't give it a 9 or anything, I think like an 8 is a pretty good rating. I do think it's better than the movie, which is something else I'll be saying if we ever review Heathers the musical. Speaking of Heather, what do you think, Cher?
I get it because my character for Descendants. I'd probably say either a 7.5 or 8. Like I liked it. I just like didn't like love it. Like something like Wicked. I'm too biased with Wicked, but I enjoyed it. Is this something I would watch again? Maybe. Probably more definitely for like Halloween. Definitely I'll probably watch it. But otherwise it's just like I thought it was good. Not great, but good.
Do you see yourself singing the songs in the future? Because we have karaoke nights. Do you see yourself like doing these songs and stuff?
It's gonna take me a while to know the lyrics, like how the lyrics of like Defying Gravity.
With the majority of songs, to be fair.
Sure.
I think all the songs are super catchy. I mean, obviously, I haven't performed any of these during our karaoke nights, but I could definitely see myself getting up there and going, "The whole being that thing." Yeah. So I guess we have a 7, a 7.5, or an 8, and an 8.5. So weirdly, we kind of started with like me, went down with Callum, but then sort of got right back where we were with freaking Cher. So I guess out of 30, our collective score is 7 plus 8.
That's 15.
Plus 8.5. That would be
23 and a half.
23 and a half. So yeah, that's pretty good. Out of 30, BeetleJuice gets a 23 and a half. I like that. I think that's a good scale for BeetleJuice. I think it's a perfect 23 and a half.
Yep, and the perfect way to end Halloween. Or is it?
Well, here's the thing. When it comes to Halloween, we can't end it without talking about some of the things associated with Halloween. You know, like costumes and candy. But there's another thing that's also associated with Halloween, And that is merch. That's right, bitches. Time for Neil's merch spotlight. My ears are bleeding. Let's go. So obviously BeetleJuice
These headphone users.
and BeetleJuice, the original film, both have some merch. Of course, we'll be pulling from the original film as well. Everybody's saying, Neil, you never say anything for the ladies out there. Well, ladies, here's a recommendation, and also, guys, because I cover everybody. Yes, there are BeetleJuice Halloween costumes. Yes, you can get Lydia's dress at Hot Topic. But you know what? Earlier, it was mentioned by Cher that I'm a pretty big fan of puppets in general, including the Muppets. So I like me a good sad puppet show. Would you like to recreate the sad puppet show in this musical? Well, you can do so with the... God, I'm trying to remember exactly what it's called. Handbook for the recently deceased. Handbook for the recently deceased makeup kit, which is a BeetleJuice themed makeup kit, but the case is designed to look like the book for the recently deceased, and it's 100% a great looking replica of that. Like, I think it's great. I think it looks good, and I don't wear makeup, but I did let a girlfriend at the time do my makeup with one of these. And I have pictures of it that I can throw into the group chat and show you guys later. I look stupid because halfway through I was like, here, I'll do it. So my face is like all white and I have like a diamond made out of green. Cher's gonna cringe when I show her this image, but Callum's gonna laugh.
All right.
Oh, that's not interesting.
Also, if you just go into Hot Topic at all, there is tons of BeetleJuice Funko Pops, including one specifically for Halloween. You can only get it at Walmart, where BeetleJuice is in his carnival form, right before he rolls out his arms and he has the like carousel on his head. It looks pretty good. I actually thought about buying it, but I didn't because I'm that bitch. Anyways, guys, what do you think BeetleJuice, let's say BeetleJuice had a theme park ride. We're going to have to substitute this for something else in normal reviews. But let's say it did have a theme park ride. What would you want it to be like? And how would you incorporate specifically the musical?
You know, not that I've actually seen the cartoon show, but anybody seen the cartoon intro for the BeetleJuice show?
Yes. Even though I'm not a 90s kid, but yes.
Just make a roller coaster based on that. Boom. Sold.
Maybe have the premise be that Lydia got stuck in the underworld and now BeetleJuice and the Maitlands have to get her out before Juno finds her.
Yeah.
That could be good. I like Callum's idea. Let's go with that. Oh, but also BeetleJuice is there.
But still,
trouble. So yeah, we're done. Halloween's over, guys. Surely we're not reviewing anything else. What do you mean?
Or is it?
What do you mean, Cher? What are you talking about? Halloween's over.
Well,
today.
You know how people probably might get a little angry about this video because it's not Disney Plus related?
Yeah.
Well, remember I said something about bringing this as a backup plan?
Well, what's your backup plan?
Well, let's just say it involves this.
I can't see your screen. Hold on.
Involves...
They're gonna hire you for Maleficent 3?
Cher, I already told you that one's probably going to be uploaded before this one.
I don't care. This is probably our backup plan. Yee. Yeah. Or another backup plan, another one, besides this, coming soon, another backup plan, maybe we should do something for the Day of the Dead. You know, El Dia de los Muertos.
That's a good idea too, but Unfortunately,
Or we could do something that involves a skeleton.
definitely, I
And
agree with that. But here's
how
the
we were
thing.
talking about Tim Burton, we could do something a little Tim Burton-esque related. And it's still
Well,
Disney Plus.
we are about to enter a month between Christmas and October. So maybe that's the month where we're gonna, I don't know. Maybe that's we're doing Nightmare Before Christmas. It's next.
La 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 la. Hey! Bye!
Goodbye,
Callum,
everybody.
bye!
Tender lumplings everywhere.
Santa Claus, huh? Press the stop.